Welcome back to the Impact Show. My name is Jeremy Melton, and I'm your host today, along with Maddie.
Hello, hello.
Maddie's here. Maddie's our co-host. One day I'm going to let her be the host, and I'm going to be the co-host. The question that we used to ask every single time, what kind of impact do you want to make on the world that we live in? And the idea of this show is to make it to where you'll at least think about it sooner than later. And so, think about that. Last week, the mandate of consistency.
Yes, I really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah? What did you learn? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I know you're going to ask me what my takeaway is because you're consistent about asking me. And I think one of the things is that you don't notice when there is consistency, whether it be in your workplace, in your home, or whatever. But when it's gone, that's when you notice that it's not there. It's kind of like a silent, emotion type mandate. But I think we also talked about emotional consistency and how your emotions you can't make any decisions and let your emotions in because it'll be different every single time. Because your perception is going to be changed day to day, hour to hour.
Based on your feelings at the time.
Yep.
If you can learn to manage your feelings, then you can learn to be consistent. Mm-hmm. That's key.
It's wild. I mean, it's seriously just like...
Yeah, drop the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, if you don't hear anything else during this show, just hear that. Yeah. It's like that carries some weight. And you can make drastic change in your life if you'll begin to manage yourself and your emotion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Well, my takeaway was not near as extravagant as that. It was pretty simple, and that is that consistency doesn't mean the same. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So you've had some time to reflect, sounds like, on consistency, and I love the insight. That's good. That means that none of that time was just wasted.
Well, I also think the last point on how to be a consistent leader that you gave us was to review yourself. Because I think that I've definitely try my hardest to be the best leader that I can every day. But I can also forget, or it's if you sit down and review yourself and how you handle things or how your emotions were, I mean, that's how you learn or train yourself or your mind to do better or, So I think that was a really big one. Like review yourself. You don't really think.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given myself a self-evaluation at work, but it's almost deeper. It's way deeper than that.
What about when your manager or your boss or your leader asks you to review them, and then you want to do it, but you feel like, man, I don't want to get in trouble. I want to be in such a good relationship with my employees that I can say, hey, review me, and they'll give me some honest, candid feedback that I can get better. Here's the deal. We're all flawed.
Right.
When you live in an environment where your leader is that humble, how refreshing is that?
Yeah.
And that's what I want the environment at Impact Service Group to be about. Well,
and it is. I mean, think about, because I work for you now.
Yeah.
You sharing your mess up or your mishap every week. And it's just, I've seen you really lead the guys in the field, and, maybe they did make a mistake that cost thousands of dollars, or maybe you did.
Yeah. Yes.
But, it's nice. It's refreshing to know that I feel like you've handled different things the same, but with whoever you're dealing with, because the end game is your values are, we know what they are.
Right.
But it's nice to know that, yeah, we are human.
Yeah, we're human, and we're going to screw it up. And if we haven't screwed it up, then the bar's not high enough.
Really quick, we at my old job, they did 360 interviews. They're like 360-degree interviews. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of that? Mm-hmm. So they take, it's like a review for yourself, but they present it to you afterwards. And so they take someone that works directly with you. They take someone that is like an outsider looking in, and then they pick someone else. I don't know how it works, but then they ask them all these questions and they get all this feedback, negative, positive, everything. And then they present it to you on how well you're doing in your job, I guess. And that's when I got the feedback that one of the questions is, do you look at Maddie as a leader in the company? And people said no. And that was like 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm at the top. Or not the top, but like I'm a senior manager, you know, like how do they not look at me as a leader?
Right.
And it was a really cool feedback.
That is cool.
Thing and then look at me now. Yeah. On a leadership podcast.
Oh yeah.
Take that.
That's great.
I'm just kidding.
That is great. All right. So the last mandate.
I'm kind of sad.
Yeah. Well,
we're just going to go back.
No, actually, I started earlier today. I started the lesson for after this, and we're going to basically, at least for the next podcast we do, we're going to try and do an interview next week, and then we're going to do a leadership study on Solomon. Okay. So, anyway, we'll get to that later, but we're going to pick out a few leaders of the Bible and talk about what made them leaders. All right, what is resilience? And so, do you know?
I feel like resilience is like consistently pushing forward through everything, whether it be hard times, good times. You consistently move, towards the goalpost.
Well, so the definition that I have is the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, okay, or when it's tough. And so the capacity to withstand or recover, which is the ability for something to get back up into shape and the measure of it, right? So if someone is high in resilience, then nothing can keep them down, right? They're down and up, right back up. And so what I have to ask this, what do you think of when you hear that word? Like, what's the first thing your mind goes to when I say that's resilience?
Well, my perception of it is different now. So I think of business, and I think of a resilient leader would be someone who went through like the 2008 recession or something, but they were resilient and pushed through. No matter, or I think of like personal, in life, people go through so much and then they push through. They still stand and they still go to church every Sunday. They don't lose faith, so.
Yeah. I think about the movie Rocky every time. Like, I know that sounds funny, but by the way, Rocky's my wife's favorite movie. She loves that movie. She watches it all the time.
I knew I loved her.
Yeah, she loves that movie. Like, I'll come in on a Saturday morning and she's watching Rocky. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm watching this movie. I'm like,
love
golly. Her. But the fact is, we watched it not too long ago. But the first thing I think about when I think about resilience is Rocky and him getting his face smashed in and him just keep coming back for more. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to play this clip, we talked about this before, but if Joe Rogan can do it, we can too.
Yep.
There's like 30 seconds where Rocky is talking to his son, and I'm going to try and play this with my speaker here so everybody can hear it. So hang on. Let's see if I can get this to work.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
So that worked out pretty good.
That was good.
Hopefully
yeah.
everybody could hear that. But
Get you fired up.
Yeah, that right there will get you fired up. That's how winning is done, right? So I think at the end of the day, when you think about resilience, you just understand that if you're a leader, you're going to take a whipping pretty regular. And one of these days, we're going to do a podcast on things that I've been taught through the years by certain mentors. But one of the mentor, I had a mentor one time. He taught me a lot. He taught me most of everything I know about leadership. But he told me, he was the one that told me, in order to lead, you got to learn to follow. And I was like, that sounds so dumb, what you just said, but it's true.
Yeah.
That is the truth. That's the first thing you have to do is follow. You have to follow, then you lead, then you create influence, and then you can create legacy, right? So we're gonna write that down. We're gonna make a picture. We're gonna make some shirts.
Look,
First thing you're gonna do is follow. The second thing you do is lead. The third thing you do is influence, and then you get legacy. In that order. If you ever try to lead without following, you will not lead. If you ever try to influence without leading, you will not influence. Mm-hmm. And if you ever try to have a legacy without any of that, it's not happening. So those 4 things.
Amen.
All right? And it's just that simple. But long story short, the guy that told me to follow also told me one of the other wise things that he told me, and I'm going to use a bad word. One time, I went in the office and I was complaining about something. And he said, Jeremy, you have to learn to eat a shit sandwich. And I was like, dude, what are you? The things that you say, dude, are not right. Like, I was young and I was so dumb. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to eat crap. And you eat shit as a leader regularly. And if you don't enjoy it, then you won't lead as much, right? And so you can only lead as much as you're willing to take. But anyway, sorry for the bad word. If your kids are in the car,
I'll beep it out.
Yeah, we can beep it. Beep.
Yeah.
No, but it loses its effect.
No,
It's the end of the day.
Resonates.
You just have to eat shit, and it's okay. It sucks, So resilience comes to the top when you eat crap and move on, right? That's what you get. And so I tell my kids all the time, the world is tough. It's mean, and you're going to get hit, and you got to keep moving. And just like Rocky said, that's how winning is done. And so anyway, here we go.
I love it.
What does resilience look like? And this is our word right here that you liked many podcasts ago, relentless pursuit of the goal. Relentless pursuit of the goal is what resilience in leadership looks like. And that's just it. So why does it matter? Why does resilience matter?
I mean, I feel like you're going to prove me wrong, but I feel like this one's an easy one. Not for a person to be resilient, because that is not easy. But I think that, if you're a leader and you've got whatever the goal is in mind, like we talked on the last one, you were like, when we get to the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, but then we see the next mountain,
That's
right.
Like,
so it's like, if you get to the top, you reach your goal.
Look for the next
keep
mountain.
going. Yeah. You keep going. Like it's
if here's the thing about it, and it's interesting that you say that, and this isn't part of our script here. We don't have a script, but when you get to the top, what's the next thing you do? You look for the next mountain, the next hill to climb.
Right.
The next hill to climb. That's what you do. And as you grow in your life, that's all you do is you continue to seek purpose and seek the next difficult thing to do. You want your kids to do difficult things all the time. And so when they master something, they go do something else. Mm-hmm. Think about it. So your kid, rock star soccer player at Morgan County Middle School, right? They're going to climb to the next level, go all the way up to be a pro. Well, what do you do when you're not a pro anymore? I mean, what, tennis?
You start a nonprofit for soccer. I mean, yeah.
But once you reach the
top
of whatever you're doing, you typically go do something else.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Always. And it's something else challenging. You never get to the top of the mountain and sit down and have coffee and hang out. If you do, you don't do it very long. Jordan Peterson says, don't give in to your hedonism. What would you do? Sit on a beach and drink Mai Tais, No, you don't do that. You want a challenge.
Not a true leader.
Right. Correct.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would love to sit on a beach with some Mai Tais, but
temporarily.
That won't last. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to last very long for someone who's a true leader.
No.
You got to feel that
purpose.
Yeah.
Got to have it. That's right. All right. I love it. All right. Why does it matter to leadership? Leadership guarantees 100% of the time pressure. If you are leading anything, people, projects, whatever, you're going to face setbacks, criticism, uncertainty, and moments where everything blows up.
You said leadership guarantees
setbacks. Pressure. Guarantees pressure. Setbacks, criticism, uncertainty. Resilience keeps the leader steady. Mm-hmm. Right? And
that's good.
Yeah. People take emotional cues from leaders. We talked about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Teams watch how the leader responds. And the resilient leader stays calm, honest, forward-focused, and says we can handle it. Resilience supports better decision-making. Resilient leaders recover faster from, I won't say the agony of leading, but, all the things that come with it sometimes are tough on you,
Yeah.
And a resilient leader recovers faster. So, why does it matter? It builds credibility and trust, just like most of the other mandates. Resilience doesn't be, this is a good one too. Resilience doesn't mean we're being tough all the time. We're not suppressing emotion and that we never need help. It's in fact the opposite. It's self-aware, recovering. Basically, you're learning instead of, the resilient leader is always in learning mode too. We'll talk about that a little bit.
I feel like that's follow, right? I mean,
yes, 100%. Okay, so sometimes skills and intelligence and influence will get you into leadership. Resilience is often what keeps you there, right? You remember we talk about some of that sometimes. Resilience is one of those that maintains your influence once you have it, right? And for the long haul. So, because, look, a lot of people get into leadership roles. Sometimes they digress, right? Sometimes they go back. It's either they get into the leadership role and they go back, or they stay there, right? Resilience is what lets you continue to grow in your leadership.
Yeah.
Right. And maintain it. But, all right, so let me ask you this. Resilience also makes me think about like being passionate, right? And having grit, or what you might call grit. But those are different. And we're going to talk about that just real quick. So resilience is basically your bounce back. We're going to call it your bounce back.
That's good.
Yeah, that's your bounce back. Your passion is, that is your energy and your meaning. And then your grit is the endurance over time. But the resilience, resilience is your ability to get back on the horse. The grit keeps you in the saddle for the long haul, right? So passion would be your reason for getting on the horse, okay, and riding. The grit keeps you on the horse for a long time, and resilience is your ability to jump back in the saddle when you get thrown off.
I like that
That's
analogy.
the three different things.
Yeah.
And that's just I just brought that up. It's not even in my notes over here.
Wow.
Wow, look at there. Okay. So passion gives you the why, grit gives you the stay, and resilience helps you recover and adapt. Did Jesus Christ exhibit resilience?
Yes. And no. I'm just kidding. I would say absolutely.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
100%.
I just said yes and no because the last episode
Yeah. Well, I asked you a trick question. So if you use resilience in the sense of enduring adversity and recovering from setbacks and remaining faithful to the purpose under pressure, Jesus definitely exhibited resilience. He was Jesus was opposed his whole ministry.
Right.
Everyone opposed him other than the followers. And then they, at some point, they would oppose him too. Right. But, he stayed focused on the mission. He continued teaching and healing, and he adjusted how he engaged with people all along the way. Right. So all those things, he was resilient.
I know we say that he's the greatest leader of all time, but I think this resilient, this one is where he is, like, resilient is more prominent in him than I think any other mandate. I mean, I not that matters, but it just, you can see it in every single thing that he did. He was resilient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When people didn't believe him, follow, it's wow.
He got back on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
He did not suppress emotion. He was frustrated. He expressed anguish in the Garden of Gethsemane when he knew he was fixing to go to the cross. I mean, he wept when, in John, oh man, I don't know, maybe chapter 11, where it says that Jesus wept. But he didn't let his emotion control his direction, right?
Right.
So he processed pain and he still moved forward. He was rejected and he never retaliated, ever, as far as I know. He was rejected in his hometown, challenged, mocked, betrayed, abandoned. He did not ever seek revenge. He did not harden his heart, and he did not abandon people. How difficult is it for you when you get rejected, or when you get confronted, or when you get all the things that people do to you, and you immediately feel abandoned or rejected or any of those things, and then you withdraw from people?
Mm-hmm.
You do it. I do it. We do it.
It's human.
Oh.
Well, and that's what makes leadership so hard, is the opposite of what leaders do is the human nature. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're creatures that want things easy.
Do you see why I crave this stuff so bad?
I know. It's wild.
So when you read the Bible and it says that we're called to be like Christ, we just lost our camera. It's okay. But when you read the Bible and it says we're called to be like, no, don't worry about it. We're good. Okay. It says we're called to be like Christ. The things that I'm teaching is that, right? And so we should desire that. And so you should desire to lead, because that's what Jesus did. Mm-hmm. It's like people that, and here's the thing, in the common workplace today, you work with people. Everyone's in the flesh. Everyone all around you is in the flesh. And if you will do the things, these 20 mandates, then you're walking in the Spirit, which is what we're called to do. That is why I feel so passionately about them. And so anyway, all right.
So I also think too, like when you, like the perception of a leadership or whatever, it's like there's only one or two of a company. There's only one leader. The big boss is the leader, and it's like, time out. I feel like people misunderstand. Like, you could be the lowest man on the totem pole and still be a leader. A leader it's about influence. It's not necessarily about
Preach.
how much money you make or what decisions you get to make.
It's not
whatever.
a position.
No. And I think that's what, if everyone could see it that way, like talking to Murphy, my 10-year-old, I'm like, you be a leader. It doesn't matter if you're the starter on the baseball team or not. Like, still be a leader.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Anyways.
The fact that you're calling that out in your kid, it almost brings tears to my eyes.
I learned it from the best.
Everybody needs to be a leader, and this is how you do it. This is what you do. And, man, it's so powerful. All right. Recovery. How did Jesus recover? When Jesus was mocked and betrayed and abandoned, all those things, we, flesh, humans, recover by withdrawal. And when I say withdrawal, I'm not talking about pulling them back. I'm talking about like you just write somebody off. Be like, oh, they treated me bad. Screw that person.
Right.
Or you'll say, well, I'm not going to have anything to do with them because they pissed me off. Or retaliate. Or, resentment or whatever.
Get other people to hate them.
Yeah. You call your friends and be like, hey, bro, let me tell you what she did.
Yeah.
But what did Jesus do?
Was persistent.
He
He knew what his goal was, and he wanted to do everything in his power to influence. And when people were hateful I'm sure it got to him, but he knew what he needed to do.
I'm about to tell you what he did. He withdrew and prayed.
He withdrew?
He did. So when I say withdrew, like I just said, to clarify, when we withdraw, we don't withdraw to go pray. We withdraw to badmouth and gossip and whatever else, right? But Jesus would go up on the mountain and pray. He would go out by himself early in the morning and pray. He would take it to God. So when I say withdraw, what Jesus did, withdraw, not from the scenario, from the situation, but he would go and pray.
Well, I think he understood that there was some things that he wasn't going to be able to do, and that's where the praying comes in. I mean, he's given it to God.
Yeah, well, so that's one thing I want to say is that we can learn from is that resilience is not always about output. In fact, a lot of this stuff is not always about output. Sometimes you got to pull back and listen and learn and talk to God and give it out, give it away, and just lean in and rest. Like, rest is a big deal. And so when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're dealing with this, let's just say suffering or whatever you're dealing with, you've got to rest. And you've got to be able to say no to more things than you say yes to. God is so important because as a leader, and this is, man, I felt some more conviction here, people. I'm just telling you. I like to say that I'm the hardest working dude around. Okay? I'm guilty of being a workaholic. And I like to pride myself in being the hardest worker that I know. But I have to know also that I need rest.
Yeah.
And if I'm not rested, I'm not good for my people. That makes me a better leader, knowing that I need rest. Mm-hmm. And so your endurance and your ability to work hard as a leader is good, but it's also equally bad for you if you're not rested and you're not well and you're not taking care of yourself.
Well, I think, too, it's a good example for the people who are following you.
Yeah.
To know that.
Rest.
Yeah. Like if you've got a manager or, someone at work who's constantly emailing at 2:00 in the morning, the perception is that me as the employee has to also message and do things. Or whether you do it or you don't. Right. I mean, but in your head, it's like, I'm not it's like they're working harder than me or whatever it is. And it's,
Right.
You got to learn to, that was hard. That's a hard one for me is rest, because my friends always tell me, what are you doing saving the world today? You know, cause I can't just stay idle. I'm like, nope, deep cleaning the house. You know, you got to prioritize things and then have your rest day so that you're good for your people.
Right. No, that's great. I mean, in fact, we're going to make this a short episode because I'm going to go past about 4 pages and we're going to rest this afternoon.
Okay.
But before I do, I'm going to give a couple of things that guide me on my trip to resilience.
Okay.
So, but I want you to hear that if you haven't heard anything else I've said, for the leader, your resilience is determined by how healthy you are. And that's both physically, mentally, spiritually, all those things. It's so important that you as the leader are, number one, that you work hard, yes, but that you are well rested and that you run and you rest. Mm. And both of those things are important. And that rest doesn't mean sleep. It doesn't mean anything. It's the old buddy Charlie Kirk. He wrote a book, and I hadn't read it yet. But it was on the Sabbath, I think, where he was talking about how he honored the Sabbath. He turned his phone off and for a whole day every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
And he spent with his family. And he put his phone in the drawer. And that was convicting for me too, because I've never done that. Of course, it's not time for me to do that.
You're like, what?
My first year in the company, and we're a service company, I can't do that. But it'd be nice to be able to do that, but I can't do it just yet. Maybe one day. But being intentional about rest, I can do. And so can you. Right? Everybody can.
Yep.
All right. That's all I want to say about it. Be able to eat crap and be able to rest. That's pretty much cut and dry. That will make you resilient. Rest, eat crap, and follow Jesus. All right. I need to put that in a magazine.
That's going to be my new tattoo.
Yeah, there you go. So 2 things that helped Jeremy in his journey to resilience. Number 1, do you remember when Jesus was hanging on the cross and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do? Mm-hmm. I tell people that all the time. But
I've heard you say that.
Yeah, I've said it.
I've heard you use that and
forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Radical forgiveness leads to resilience. Okay? So when Jesus was hanging on the cross, he offered mercy at the moment of extreme suffering. These people have hung him on the cross, stoned him, slashed him, cut him, nailed him to the cross. He's hanging up there, and he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. What kind of forgiveness is that? So if somebody arbitrarily does something to you, they could do anything in this world. It's not going to be that bad. Mm-mm. Right? So what should you do? Forgive them.
Yep.
Do you know how freeing it is to have that kind of forgiveness?
That's hard.
It is so hard, but it's so important. If you can have a heart of forgiveness like that, oh my God, it's so difficult. But if you can do it, and don't let me make less of it, if you can do it, you will live free. So free, like a bird. I mean, like literally, it's crazy. But if you don't forgive, if you don't act like Jesus, you will live with that stuff burdening you at every corner, and you don't even realize it.
Which will prevent you also from resting.
And leading.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 2. So the number 1 is radical forgiveness. You should have that if you want to have resilience. Number 2, David in the Bible, 1 Samuel chapter 30. David encouraged himself. So what do you do when no one else is encouraging you? Because let me tell you something. I ain't been at this game very long at Impact Service Group, and everything is glorious, and we look like we're killing it. We are, by the way. But there's so many people out there that do want me to fail, right? There is. There's people out there that want me to fail. And I have to not pay attention to that. And here's the deal. There's days right now, not today. Today I'm good. I'm encouraged. But there's days when I'm not encouraged. Like I'm beat down pretty good. Based on lots of different things. And then because I lost some friends when I started Impact. Really good friends. Which kind of stinks every now and then, to think about. Yeah. And so some days, man, I might have a bad day. And that's on me. And I can't get it off. All right? And no one's encouraging me, right? Nobody. And the only thing I'm doing is making everybody mad. That happens. Not regularly, but it does happen. And so it's like, what do you do? Because if you're a leader, you know what I'm talking about. If you own a company, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a leader of a company, you know what I'm talking about. What did David do? In 1 Samuel, it says that David was greatly distressed, but that David strengthened himself in the Lord. It says that he encouraged himself in the Lord. And you can go read it. We're not going to read it right now, but here's the deal. David had just returned to find Ziklag burned. His wives had been taken captive. Wives, they were all taken captive. His own men, were talking about stoning him. Okay? There was no encouragement coming from anywhere. Mm-mm. No ally stepping in, no help coming. That, if you've never been there, you will be. At some point in your life. In your leadership journey, you will be there. I mean, and I think about it like as I said, and I'm not playing poor pity me here. I'm just telling you it's real. That there'll be days when everybody's mad and you can't make anybody happy, and your guys, your people, whatever, they're mad at you. They don't agree with you or whatever. It's like you can't make anybody happy. And what do you do in those times? And it's clear. It's right here. The Bible always gives us the answers. But David did something remarkable. He said, he basically encouraged himself in God. And so he wasn't in isolation. He turned in and up. In and up. And so I've had to do this myself many, many times, but a few things that it shows, the Bible did say that he was greatly distressed. So your resilience is not denial. You're accepting that it's there. And look, when your external support collapses, it's going to. Mm-hmm. What do? You got to go to God and you stabilize. But strengthening yourself implies, an intentional decision to get better. And I oftentimes do that in prayer, but let's see, leadership under pressure. So before you can lead others forward, you have to regain your own footing. You got to keep your feet under you. You got to rest. You got to go to God. You got to ground everything you do. And you got to encourage yourself. So that's it. It's recovery and restoration. Mm-hmm. That's what resilience is. And so that's it. That's all I got.
That's good.
How long was that one?
41 minutes.
Holy cow, it was still 40 minutes. And I didn't even go through half my notes.
I'm telling you.
Bro, man, I wrote a bunch of stuff that I didn't even cover. Wow.
You can do a part 2.
It's good enough. Just rest and be resilient for your people. Stay encouraged. If you're a leader and you're tired, let this be of an encouragement to you that I've felt it. All leaders have been in that boat. You get tired. You get wore down. Encourage yourself. And go read it. Go read in Samuel where David did it. That helped me several years ago when I was in a pickle.
1 Samuel chapter 20.
20?
20 you said. That's what you said, so I wrote it down.
Let me see. Let me go back.
I'll add it in our description.
Well, I can't find it now. All right. Well, just find it. Golly. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's 1 Samuel 30. If I said 20, I was wrong.
Got it.
1 Samuel chapter 30 is where it is. So, all right. Anyway, that's it. We're going to land the plane.
Okay.
Hopefully, you've learned something today about being resilient and getting you some rest.
That was our last mandate.
Last mandate. That's pretty cool, too. I'm excited to get them all documented. They're all done. They're reviewed. We'll probably we'll talk about them again just to beat them in everybody's head.
We forgot to mention this a few weeks ago, but we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary.
Yes, we did, actually.
And neither one of us even remembered.
Yeah.
Ashley, your wife is the one who brought it to our attention.
That's funny.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So we've been doing this whole podcast for about a year. That's pretty exciting. We should hold a party or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
birthday cake.
Well, hopefully you're still with us. Hopefully you've been with us since the beginning. If you're just now joining us, you can go back and listen to all 50 episodes?
49.
49 episodes, including this one?
40. This is number 49.
Okay. Go back and listen to them. It's close enough to 50. I'm going to say 50. There'll be one next week, so then we can say 50.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool stuff. Thank y'all for coming along with us. If you ever need anything, please give us a shout. We'd love to help you in whatever it is that you need. So lead well.